Hey, here's the next question. Here's a challenging one. Would you forgive your man if he cheated on you one time? Easy to say uh, how you would react unless you've been in that situation. Not so easy to do or deal with. First thoughts. Who? Who is she? What does she look like? Does it matter if she looks better than you in your eyes? Does that justify? Do you feel better? Um, do you feel better if she doesn't look better to you? Like what you consider better? I mean, if she doesn't look better than you, what? Am I not enough? When did it happen? Where did it happen? Why did it happen? How? I mean, come on, you know how, but can you imagine seeing, the thought of the person that you love with someone else? The love of your life with someone else? Can you imagine the love of your life doing everything that you do with someone else? Can you really let them go just the first time? Is it that devastating that you just can't go forward? You can't move forward. Um, then you think, am I just going to let him go and just give him to her? Like, does she just get everything that I worked? Excuse me. That I worked so hard, that I invested my time, my energy, it hurts. Do you give him a pass because, he apologized, he was sorry because he was caught. He said he'd never do it again. Not easy. I remember just like yesterday, a situation, and I was just talking about this with my girlfriend yesterday. It was, the story just rolled off my tongue, just like it was yesterday. Mind you, this happened over 30 years ago, and I can still feel it. I can't believe so much time has passed, but I'm telling you, when I think of that story, it was just like it was yesterday. So I'm going to give you the short version. I was getting calls. I was staying with my grandma at the time, and she was saying, um, somebody looking for you, somebody calling for you, but she couldn't understand. She couldn't pronounce the name. She said, so-and-so called for you. So-and-so called. So-and-so called. I said, okay. They didn't call back. Somebody just kept calling. And, I said, well, try to write it down, Grandma. She said, I don't know. They calling at different times. Somebody calling, looking for you. I tell them you're not here. Uh, yeah. I said, okay, Grandma. All right. My boyfriend and I were going through some things, and he was staying downstairs with one relative, and I was staying upstairs with my grandma because we were not married, and she didn't play that. So he stayed downstairs with one of my relatives, and I stayed upstairs with a relative in the same building, apartment building. The plan was excuse me, the plan was, you know, working, saving. He's working, saving the money. They're helping us to get ourselves together. We're gonna work. He's working, saving money, so we can get our place, get ourselves together. And I had a baby. I had a baby, and everyone was trying to help. A little here, a little there. So someone's calling. Things didn't work out with him and my relative where he was staying because he wasn't being so responsible. When it was time to give money to help out where he was staying, he was shopping. He was buying, I'm not saying he wasn't buying the little necessities for the baby. No, he took care of that. But when you're staying with someone else, you're buying designer things like sneakers and clothes and stuff like that. When it's rent time, you're supposed to help out with the rent. So he messed up in that area. And my relative was like, you can't, I'm watching you in and out with these sneakers and stuff. And when it's time for you to pay rent, where's the money? You're not paying your share here. So anyway, he decided to move out and go stay with a cousin. And he thanked my relative for helping him and stuff, but he felt it was better, he's going to stay with a cousin. All right, so he goes to stay with the cousin. So he gives me a piece of paper and he says, back then, he wrote the number on a piece of paper. He wrote the number on a piece of paper and he says, look, anything comes up, I'm staying with my cousin. I'm staying with my cousin. Here's the number. If you need me for anything, okay. So he left. All right. Now, I never had a reason to call the cousin because he basically came, he's from Brooklyn. I'm from Manhattan. So he traveled a lot, daily. So there was no need to call because he basically, even though he was living somewhere else, he came, to see me, the baby, whatever. Okay, daily. All right. So, like I said, my grandmother's saying someone's trying to call me, but, I never got the name. She couldn't pronounce it. They didn't leave the number. Okay, coming and going, all right. So anyway, one day I get a call and it's a police officer. The police officer's calling, asking, do I know him? And of course, I'm scared, like what, And he says, please come see me. I'm sorry, come see me. At the court. How I am totally lost. I don't know what the heck he's talking about. He's telling me he got into a fight and he's sorry and please come see him. And now he's in Brooklyn, but he said something about Queens, and the officer said he had to get off the phone. So he's like, I love you, I'm sorry, I got into a fight, all right. So I hang up the phone. I'm like, what's going on? What happened? But I thought about who would know what happened? His cousin. So I went searching in my dresser drawer, and lo and behold, I found the paper that he gave me, a while ago, with the number. And he said his cousin is very jealous. Just tell him, who you are. You're the baby mother. She'll pass the phone. But like I said, he was arrested for something, a fight or something. I figured, let me call the cousin and see if she knows what happened. I found the number. I called the number. I said, hey, I'm so-and-so. I'm his baby mother. He just called me. Something happened. He's being arrested. He got into some kind of fight. I don't know. And because I'm thinking this is the cousin, right? The young lady says, excuse me, do you know whose phone you calling? And I said, yes, you're his cousin, right? She said, no, I'm the person. She says, I'm the reason he's going to jail. I said, what? She said, yes, I'm the reason why he's going to jail, why he's arrested in the first place. And I said, oh, what? Oh my God. Well, let me tell you, we were on the phone over 2 hours. Over 2 hours. She had a lot to tell me about what happened. She also was trying to call me. She's also the person who was trying to call me. She was trying to get in touch with me because she wanted to let me know that they were having a baby. What? Now, am in a relationship. I have a baby. We have plans. We have plans to get married. He has an interest in the military. I mean, she tell me she has a baby on the way. She was trying to call me to tell me it was time for me to get over it. She wanted to let me know. But he told her to be quiet, not to call me. Wait until we get married first and then bring the baby, because she said she doesn't want the baby. So not only did he cheat, but he has a baby on the way. He's pushing marriage to me. He's pushing marriage, but now I know there's another reason why he wants to get married so fast, because stuff is going to hit the fan and I'm going to find out that they have a baby. But if we're married and away, when I find out about the baby, now this is what she told me. She's like, I know how nice you are. I know you wouldn't mistreat. He told me you wouldn't mistreat the baby or anything. You would be a little hurt, a little upset or whatever, but you'll help him. I will help him take care of the baby if she doesn't want the baby. And she told me, every time you look into your husband's face, every time you look into my baby's face, you're going to know that your husband is a liar, he's a cheater, I was devastated. I could not believe. I could not believe. She said she tried to call me and he took the phone. Back in the days, the landline phone, he took the receiver. He took her and clunked her upside her head because she was trying to call me to tell me that she was pregnant with his baby. And they had a fight and she had him arrested.